So this visual should help with knee extension. What I want you to be very aware of is we are trying to work on all of these muscles here on the front side of your femur, all of your quads. So as you can kind of tell from this visual, they actually do a pretty decent job. I'll start it from the beginning here and then draw time. See my artistic hat on. You'll notice that these muscles here are a little bit more lengthened at the beginning. What you want to think about is you're almost, if you imagine you have two sections, if you have like a rope that's a certain amount of length, that's sort of like this around here. And then if you were to take the ends of that rope and you were to shove them together, what you would get is you would get kind of a bunching up of that rope. The same amount of rope over less area will cause this kind of bunching up effect. So as we then clear all of those, you should be able to see, oops, if I do this right, that all these muscles here kind of bunch up. They go from this kind of knee flexed position, they're longer, and then they sort of bunch up together into this nice big wad of quad, which is a nice little rhyming situation I just figured out. This big quad kind of wad forms where you bring these two ends together and you're sort of bunching it up, so there's this kind of bulging effect on your quadriceps. Another important thing for you to know or to think about when you're on the machine is that we are not, which you've probably heard me say ad nauseum, but I'll say it again because people seem to forget it whenever I watch them do anything. We are not just taking, let's see if I can make this move. We are not just taking this directly to straight with a red one. That's not what we're doing. We're following this nice, get this to move around a little bit. We are following this nice black colored because it's not wrong. This nice arc. Oops, that's not an arc. That's a straight line. This nice arc of motion to get your leg to be straight. So it's not just a straight line going from bent to up. It's this ever-changing, if you can see my pen, series of straight lines that form this arc where at the end you're actually pushing up, but at the beginning you're almost pushing forward towards the window where I have it set up currently, which may change, so you may have to look at something else to push your leg towards. But it's this nice, I'm going to draw a better arc. I don't like that arc. It's a nice round. That's also not good. That looks better. This nice arc of motion is what you're attempting to move it around. You can see it's kind of perpendicular to that lower leg at all times. Thinking about bringing that bunching up together, and you can see where your quads all run down and attach into this little tendon. That's what's pulling up. So you're trying to bunch that up into your quad area, moving around this arc of motion, not just in this straight red line that I have, just from there to straight, because that'll compress your joint a little bit. You're trying to move around this arc of motion, bunching up all of this quad tissue into this kind of bunched up version instead of this straight version that I was talking about where it's a little bit lengthened around there. You're kind of bunching it up, so you should get a nice bulge of your quad here when you perform that exercise, moving around that arc of motion.